Chapter 3, State Requirements of Educational Facilities, Section 3.1. Educational Plan Survey. At least one every 5 years. Each board includes for universities, the University Development Research Schools, Demonstrate Lab Schools. For the Florida students of deaf and blind should be arranged for any of the educational plan surveys to conform with the compliance of 1013-31 Florida State Statutes. Educational Plan Surveys expires on June 30th, an official year of the survey year. All new construction, remodeling, renovation is included in the school district 5-year facility work program must be adopted by the board, and including the educational plan survey, the public school district should readopt the educational plan survey and annually to ensure that the 5-year facility work program, the educational plan survey, or planned facilities planning and properly coordinated with the 4 5-year span covered by the 5-year district facility work program. An educational plan shall survey the purpose of the building program for a board of a period of 5 years. The 5-year survey is amended the surveys for the district Florida colleges of the federal student deaf and blind. And development research shall be electronically transmitted to the office. The university survey report shall be submitted in written report. 1. Survey. Completed survey reports shall contain recommendations for housing educational program support. Completed survey reports shall contain recommendations for housing educational program services, lease spaces used in conjunction, and educational agency instruction programs, projected student population, other information required by subsection information required by Section 1013 and 31 Florida State Statutes shall be reviewed and approved by the board, including those for the university, the federal, state of the Florida, for the university and the Florida student for Florida students deaf and blind. Depending on the size of the district, Florida colleges and university of the 5-year survey process may be started at least 1 year in advance of the date of the document to be submitted to the office. The earlier start is important so that the appropriate attention may be given to the areas such as inventory, validation, facility listing, development, collection of various survey-related data. A decision may be made and how about the document will be completed. A survey shall include, but not limited to, the following. Inventory. Current inventory of all existing board-owned long-term lease educational auxiliary facilities plants, including all satisfactory lease rented, lease purchase owned, rented relocatables. Recommendations for remodeling, renovation, new construction, site acquisition, site development, site improvement for the existing new educational ancillary plants. Auxiliary facilities shall be constructed with the local comprehensive plan as required by the Section 1013-33 Florida State Statutes. Recommendations shall include the general location, capacity, and estimated cost of work for each of the project. Capital outlay classification 1, satisfactory C1. An existing educational plan that is recommended by the survey for continued use for the new educational plan recommendations. Generally adequate site, satisfactory facilities, project membership with desirable size of range for the type of school. Capital outlay classification 2, satisfactory C2, the educational plan that is in a period of the transition with evidence insufficient and recommended replacement, generally in need of the renovation, repair, and maintenance. Capital outlay classification 3, unsatisfactory. C3, an educational plan that is an unsatisfactory one of the more major respects, generally inadequate site of declining the enrollment, whether the needs of students may be better than economically served at other educational plans. Abandonment educational plans not currently housing students. Unsatisfactory educational plans that currently house students should be closed as soon as adequate facilities are available. A school board, by resolution pursuant to Section 10,013-28 Florida State Statutes, may elect to dispose of said property when determined by the board be necessary for educational purposes as recommended in survey. A facility of C3 classification does not earn a public educational capital outlet maintenance funds. Capital outlay classification 6, satisfactory C6, the existing auxiliary facility recommendation by the survey for continued use for the new auxiliary facilities, generally adequate site and satisfactory facilities. Capital outlay classification 7, unsatisfactory C7, auxiliary facilities, generally inadequate, unsatisfactory buildings or abandoned facilities not currently being used. Such facilities should be closed as soon as adequate facilities are available elsewhere. School board, by resolution pursuant to Section 1013-28 Florida State Statutes, may elect to dispose of said property when determined by the board to be unnecessary for the educational purposes as recommended in the Educational Plant Survey. A facility within Class 7 of satisfaction does not earn public educational capital outlay maintenance funds. Capital outlay classification C9. Any district-owned facility that is leased to entity for the use of by lessor for any purpose, including educational, but is not used by the district during the normal school hours of the operation of facility assigned with the C9 capital outlay classifications will not generate a public educational capital outlay maintenance funds, even when the facility contains satisfactory space. Facilities will be counted in the district's inventory of available space and will be considered the determination of new construction needs. The student population. An analysis using the number provided by the department, the projected capital outlay full-time student population is COFTEE, based on a traditional school year by the school center, based on an extended day of the year-round operation for the grades of kindergarten through 12 vocational programs. Florida colleges shall use the 5-year projection of the student population contained with the report of the capital outlay full-time equivalent students enrollment, the CCFTE 602, prepared by the department. Universities shall use the 5-year projections for the capital outlay full-time and equivalent student enrollments approved by the Board of the Governors of the state university system. Once again, the Florida colleges shall use 5-year projections of the student population contained within the yearly report of the capital outlay and the yearly report of the capital outlay full-time equivalent students enrollment, CFTE 602, prepared by the department. Universities shall use the 5-year projections capital outlay full-time equivalent students enrollments approved by the Board of the Governors of the state universities. Facility listing, statements of proposed types of facilities, grade structure, students' capacity for grades, kindergarten through 12 vocational schools, and Florida colleges. Districts must use the electronic facilities listed programs developed by the Office of all Facilities, whether any construction expenditures are derived from any state sources. These lists shall not be modified in district agencies of the district for the purpose of altering space size specified in Chapter 6. Capital outlay proposed funding plan. An analysis of expenditures and projected capital outlay funds for graduate grades kindergarten through 12 in the vocational schools. Mileage necessary to raise the required local contribution tax levies, non-exceptional property mileage, debt service obligations, anticipated state funds, the amount of the unappropriated unencumbered capital improvement funds available for the construction at the time of the survey, other financial data as it may be relevant, such as trends in assessed valuation, campus master plan. Florida college surveys should also include an updated campus master plan and detail. The comprehensive planning and adequate school facilities. District school boards must have an interlocal agreement coordinated with the comprehensive planning, landing development, and educational facility planning. The municipalities located in the geographic area of the school district must enter into the interlocal agreement with the district school board that jointly establish the specific ways with the planning process of the district school board and the local governments are coordinated. The agreement and the local government comprehensive plans must be specified in the meetings of the basing of the plans of the consistent projections of the population, student growth, or geographical distribution of the growth. The agreement must address the integration of the educational facility plans of the board with local comprehensive plans of each affected local government. Precedents. A new 5-year educational plan survey shall supersede all previous surveys. The previous recommendations that have not been implemented shall not be eligible for the expenditures of the state capital outlay funds usually, unless recommended in a new survey. A supplementary survey may be provided at any time the supplementary survey supersedes all previous surveys for the recommended facility and site. The 5-year district facility work program. The districts are required to update annually their facilities work program by October 1st of each year. The work plan consists of a 5-year listing of the capital outlay projects adopted for the district school board referenced in Section 1013-35 Florida State Statutes, ordered to properly maintain the educational plants and ancillary facilities of the district to provide an adequate number of the satisfaction students and stations for the projected student and enrollment for the district of the grades kindergarten through 12 K through 12 programs. The detailed plans for the providing student stations and district's 5-year facility work program are based on the recommendations made in the Educational Plan Survey referenced in Section 1013-31 Florida State Statutes. This section also requires that 5-year district facilities work program must be submitted electronically through EFIS. See Rule 6A2.0010 Florida Administrative Codes, Article 9, Section 1, Article 12, Section 9, Constitution of the State of Florida, and Sections 163, 31,777, 1302, 1303, 1331, 1333, 1335, 1337, 1340, 1364, 4A, and 1374, 1 in Florida State statutes. Head state requirements of the educational facilities for Section 3.1. Chapter 3, State Requirements of Educational Facilities, Section 3.1, Educational Specification and Facility Program, all new construction, renovation, remodeling an educational specification facility program, all new construction, renovations, remodeling shall meet the requirements of 6A2.0010 Florida Administrative Codes on the State Requirements of Educational Facilities for statutes, federal laws, and rules. Space requirements boards include those of the Florida College University Public Broadcasting Stations shall use the size of space occupant design criteria tables develop an educational specification for the projects funded by the Public Educational Capital Outlook, Lottery, General Revenue, other states' sources, discretional local capital outlay mileage 1.5 mils. The necessary square footage is calculated in the table shall be used to determine the gross square footage as follows. Electrical communications, mechanical HVAC spaces shall not exceed 6% of the total net square footage. B. The general circulation walks, covered walkways, roof overhangs, use of covered walkways shall be not exceed 27% of the total net square footage of the elementary school grades pre-K through grades 5 through 6. 22% of the middle schools and junior high schools grades 6 through 8 of the 8 or 9. 34% of the grades 9 through post-secondary, including ancillary and broadcasting stations. Open plan instructional space 4 square feet per student for egress circulation. 2. The safe school design. Providing a safe, circularly orderly, spaceful learning environment is essential for the educational process. General welfare. Florida school population includes the grade pre-K through 12 vocational Florida colleges. See safe school design strategies are available from the Office of Educational Facility, www.florida.education.org, the ED facility/contour ASAP. The school board design education facility site enhances the security, reducing vandalism through the use of appropriate crime prevention and thorough environmental design principles, including but not limited to the following. A. Providing natural assessing controls of schools campus, providing natural surveillance of the school's campus both within the facility and from the adjacent streets, removing the obstruction from the trimmery and shrubbery, providing the schools and campus with territorial integrity by securing courtyards, providing lights for the site of the building, installing sounds motion detection systems, covering ground floors, doors, stairwells, offices, areas of whether expensive equipment is stored. Employing design that will promote the prevention of school crime, violence, such as architectural features that do not allow footholds and handholds on the exterior walls, using tamper-proof doors and locks, non-breakable glass or shelter, window protection system, landscaping, and tree placement that does not provide access to the roofs, unauthorized person separation in the separate sections of the school, commonly used after the hours of adjacent areas and doors, other devices to prevent unauthorized access, installation blocks with roof hatches, application of slippery finishes to exterior pipes. Upon using an open type handrail, other architectural features to allow surveillance of exterior stairs, balconies, ramps, and upper levels corridors around the perimeter of the buildings. Life cost cycle guidelines, materials, buildings, and Florida public education. Educational facility. The document is available. The office should be taken into consideration with development educational specification. Florida.org AD facility forms plans review ASAP. 4. Energy efficient construction. All school district Florida College University buildings shall be constructed to meet the nationally recognized high performance green building rating system as approved by the Department of Management Services. Such approved the national recognized high performance green building rating system includes the United States Green Building Council leadership, the Energy Environmental Design Green Building Initiative, Green Globes rating system, Florida Green Building Coalition standards, and Internal National Green Construction Code. The classroom illumination shall be designed to provide maintaining an average of 40-foot candles of light at each desktop. Light emitting diode light should be considered the first before other lighting sources are in educational facilities. See Rule 6A20010 Florida Administrative Code, Section 255.25, 75, 33032D, 381.006, 553.73, 1001.42.11, 1013.02, 1013.03, 1013.12, 1013.31, 1013.33, 1013.36, 1013.37, 1013.40, 1013.45, 1013.52, and 1013.54 Florida State statutes. Chapter 4.